Are you a Stranger Things fan? Well, it turns out that the Netflix hit with its gang of kids exploring creepy parallel worlds and secret government shenanigans could be encouraging curious minds beyond the world of the show. The Institute of Physics believes it could actually inspire a new generation of young physicists by slipping big ideas like wormholes, exotic manna and string theory into prime-time television. Let's talk now to Lewis Bearson, who's Director of Science, Business and Education at the University of Physics. Lewis, what a fantastic story to alight on a very dreary, dank and depressing Monday. What exactly is it about Stranger Things that you think maybe you as a younger person would have watched and gone, I cannot wait to know more about that?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jane and Fee. It's a real pleasure. So I guess first just to say I grew up in the 80s. You know, I played a bit of D&D. I loved Stephen King, sci-fi, fantasy. So when Stranger Things came out, I was like, yes, thank you, Netflix algorithm. This is for me. And I watched every series. So what a nice opportunity to be talking to you about physics and Stranger Things. In fact, what a great job I have. Very, very much enjoying this.
Well, what a lovely positive guest. Let's make the most of it. Tell us, I mean, for people who haven't seen Stranger Things, is there a very serious scientific point lying at the heart of great drama?
Oh, absolutely. So I think one of the big scientific ideas at the heart of Stranger Things, particularly the last series, is the idea of other worlds and their interaction. So, there's another world that's basically colliding into this world. And what are we going to do about that? Now, that may sound quite fantastical. It may sound like not an everyday situation. But the truth is, if you look into physics, there's a very serious physical idea at the heart of that. So there's a many worlds interpretation of quantum physics that says every time a measurement is made, the universe forks. So there's infinitely many different worlds that are branching off each time decisions are made and measurements are made. Now the fact is these worlds can't interact; they can't crash into each other. But asking the kinds of questions that Stranger Things might prompt, like could there be other worlds, can really take you in the direction of a real interesting physics theory.
Do you think that you could actually use parts of Stranger Things in class?
I mean, absolutely. There's loads of great content there. Not least some of the machines that they make. Making a antenna to make a transmitter and seeing how the strength depends on the way you make the transmitter is something that you can definitely do in class. And you could even put it on a car and drive it around town if you wanted to, just like they do in Stranger Things. But you could also, I think quantum is one of those areas that's a little bit scary, that people think you need really difficult maths to engage with. But if you can start getting into some of the big ideas through, the way in which they're presented in the show, that could really help, get people just talking about the ideas. But also, I suppose, making it feel that it's a bit more accessible and a bit more for them. One of the issues we have is that physics really needs to be more representative of the community at large. And if we can get a broader base of people interested through things like Stranger Things, that's only going to be for the good.
Sure. I mean, you really do still need more girls to get involved in physics, don't you? And actually, characters like Eleven must help with that.
Absolutely, as well as with the strong British acting cadre that we want to develop into the next generation. But I think, seriously, it's not just girls. It's also, I suppose, perceptions of what physics is about. So often there's a lone genius model of what physics is about. So there's these Einsteins off in a lab somewhere sort of coming up with great ideas. But the fact is science, and physics is no exception, is all about teamwork these days, and it's a really international endeavor. So, in Stranger Things, for instance, there's Dustin is definitely a physicist. He knows what's going on, but it actually takes the whole team and the different skills, the different powers actually that different members of the team have to come together and address the issue together. And that's very much representative of what science is about these days.
Sure. It's a really good point to make. Has the curriculum changed enough in order to be really enticing to younger minds, do you think, Lewis?
Well, it's a great question. And there's actually a review of the curriculum underway at the moment. So the chair of the curriculum's review has been clear that, it's about evolution, not revolution. But I definitely think there's scope for introducing more of, I guess, the real world impact of what this might have, and more of the inspirational potential of some of these physics ideas. And I think, if teachers can bring some of the excitement that young people get from Stranger Things into the classroom, that's only going to be a good thing.
Yep. Was this season of Stranger Things as good as the others?
Well, I hope you'd ask this question. This is the all-important question. And, it was the ending, right? And I know there are some mixed views, right? But I actually really like the ending. So it wasn't as fresh as in the beginning, but how could it not be after 5 series? But I loved how they went back to the shots of the actors at the beginning, before the Adam's apple started to show. And so wonderful to see, excellent British actors taking starring roles and developing throughout the series. So I'm going to be controversial. One of the best series finales ever. Definitely better than Game of Thrones, but that's not a high bar, I know.
Okay.
But look, I'm conscious you haven't brought him here for my physics and for my TV critic chops.
Oh no, we love it. No, we love it. Again, I think we need to, bust some stereotypes about scientists. You can be interesting people in the cultural world, Lewis. Own the telly, yeah.
I'm about to lower the tone. I'm really sorry, Lewis. I didn't get what you said at the beginning about every time a measurement is taken. Did you say the universe changes every time a measurement is taken?
So there's this big problem in quantum mechanics called the measurement problem. So what happens when you make a measurement? So speaking very generally, quantum systems exist in a kind of strange quantum world that doesn't obey the everyday rules that we see around us. But when you take a measurement, they collapse into things that follow the rules that we are more familiar with. Mm-hmm. The question is, what happens when you make that measurement? And one of the main interpretations of quantum physics is called the many worlds interpretation. And what they say is the world forks. So the various possibilities that could have happened do happen in different universes. And our universe takes one of those forks and decides, that's the way things are going to be. But all the other possibilities are also happening in other universes. It sounds a little bit out there, but that is genuinely one of the leading theories that we have for explaining what goes on, what quantum tells us about the world.
Okay, this is going to sound so stupid. So I am measuring a sofa.
That's a kind of measurement, but so sofas are this is a theory that's about the world of the very small. So it's subatomic particles.
So nano.
Nano, even smaller than that, yeah. So it's it's the world of quarks, gluons, photons,
okay. Right.
And sofas are a bit too big to have that kind of measurement effect. But it is something that is going on. So every time a classical measurement is taken, there's a quantum measurement happening at the same time. So it's something that definitely happens in our everyday lives as well as in the world of the very, very small.
Thank you, Lewis.
Lewis, thank you very much indeed for talking to us this afternoon.
Smaller than nano.
Lewis Bearson is Director of Science, Business and Education at the Institute of Physics. Oh, it's a glorious theme tune as well, isn't it? If you lived in a household that embraced Stranger Things, something quite magical did happen through that series. Okay. Definitely. I wish it had been around when we were younger.
Well, what did we have? Farmhouse kitchen.